Boom, welcome to your best post-race show ever. Podcast mashup, folks, on Friday night is a big part of SMX. So I got my guy, Jase. What is your real name, sir?
It's Jason as well, but the good Jason was taken. So I was like, well, if Jason's taken and I'm never beating that, I'm gonna be Jase.
I could not believe this. I've known you since 2010.
Yeah.
Never knew you were actually Jason. We gotta move because the Alpine Stars truck's coming through. So Jase from Gypsy Tales is gonna be our co-host. The reason we wanted to stand here, we'll get to Twisted Tea and our sponsor and their rig in a moment, is because, dude, how are you gonna draw a line between like who's the real winner today? Was it Honda team with the Lawrence brothers and Hunter getting a win? Or is it Chase Sexton with that dominating second moto? I mean, we are splitting hairs at this point of who's the guy right now.
Well, and the thing that I kind of took away from today, I kind of expected that Chase wouldn't be his best at the first round because he doesn't have an SMX setup. So all these guys technically have an SMX setup, right?
Because they were working on it.
They did it last year,
yeah.
they raced last year, they got the bike in race conditions. One of the things you always hear from guys is that all good at the practice track, but it's not until you race that you actually get to find out. Chase raced last weekend, he raced this weekend. They've obviously made some changes.
Yes.
And the people looked kind of happy under KTM. Like I was there behind the podium before the guys went up to get the checks.
No changes between motos, none.
The vibes were kind of high in that camp. So yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so on the other end, I think Chase Sexton asked a lot of questions, but Hunter Lawrence won the darn race.
Do you remember when I said at the SMX, the last week's SMX mashup, who's your dark horse? What did I say? Roll the tape. Roll the tape. Oh. I reckon Hunter Lawrence has got a lot of seconds this year.
100%.
He's a sleeper. 3 seconds through 3 rounds, like just might mathematically be enough to do it. And man, even the practice starts that the Hondas did, like they have something going on.
I won't.
So there's a Hunter Lawrence clip that just played there if Tom did his job right.
Yeah, good job, Tom. Yes.
But yeah, dude, the guy's got a lot of seconds. And seconds like a pretty good number if you can like do that, you know?
Yes.
So obviously tonight, one better with the win. That has to feel good for him. But yeah, honestly, like Hunter if his brother wasn't Jet Lawrence, we would be foaming for how good this dude is on a 450.
Yeah, as a rookie. And here's what I like the most. I know the math says anyone can win of those 3, whoever wins with the triple points. But the math is almost going to force that.
Yeah.
But if you're a Chase fan or a Hunter fan or a Jet fan or even an Eli Tomac fan, you're like, my guy's going to win next week. That's the real difference. The gap is so narrow, we don't know what's going to happen. Forget the math. In reality, we don't know. Yeah. That's what's so cool. Yeah. I mean, Eli had moments too.
Yeah, dude, he was ripping in that first moto.
Yes.
So I really like as well the short start. Makes qualifying super important, and then I mean it really does feel like anyone can kind of get a start with that shorter start as well. So I mean I think that was a huge factor. Like Tomac's up front in the second moto, probably a completely different scenario for the overall today, but then the SMX in general too, you know?
Yeah, that roulette of the start ended up mixing things up. And by the way, hilariously, I did ask what happened, why Hunter and Jet never get bad starts. They both did. Roczen flinched, Hunter flinched. Yeah. Jet's like, I am not going to flinch.
Yeah,
and
then the gate dropped.
Yeah, and then the gate dropped, and he was even worse than them. So that was wild. Let's go to press conference clips from Chase and the Lawrence boys here from Texas.
Yeah, I was stoked. It was about time I rode someone like myself. The first three motos were very average and didn't get great starts, so made my life hard. I feel like first moto I rode pretty well. I was pretty happy with my bike, but didn't get a great start. So second moto got a good start, was able to get by everybody, and I just I had really good line choices, and on a track with how dry it was, you couldn't be super aggressive, and I felt like I had a good flow going, so it was nice to ride how I should for once.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good day. I don't think I surprised myself. I feel like I've been knocking on the door long enough now, all throughout summer and stuff. So yeah, it was good, just a good day. The track, funnily enough, I think honestly, it was just a good training day for these conditions. Like we've not ridden something like this since like Europe. So it's cool just to ride something a little different. Obviously, hindsight, it's cool. Because, you know, in the moment, you're probably not like, oh man, this is so sick. But yeah, it's good just to, you know, looking back on it as a racer, brush up on those kind of conditions again, because we never get to really ride them. So.
Yeah, I was just more so frustrated about the first one. The second one, obviously, the start wasn't ideal, but
I still came through and managed to a good position. Whether I think in the first one I would have, if I didn't make the mistake of the bike stalling and that stuff, I think it would have had a lot different outcome. But at the end of the day, at least if it wasn't me as a Lawrence winning it, at least Hunter got it. It's not a Lawrence, so it's always good to have both of us out there. Gave him a good opportunity. So it's in the moment I was obviously pissed about it, but then after, once I kind of cooled down and really assessed what was going on and realized that obviously H-Day won and stuff, it was more cool. So yeah.
All right, let's open these Twisted Teas. This is a first.
Cheers,
You've
brother.
never had a Twisted Tea before.
Never had a Twisted Tea. Let's go.
Is it American only thing? Like, you live in Australia sometimes, you live in Dubai. Do they not have it over there? I don't even know.
If I put this in my shoe right now, would you do it?
Oh, a Shoey?
Yeah.
Hey, he's Australian. I'll do a Shoey. Yeah,
Would you
I mean, it
really
wasn't
do it?
hot. Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, look, it's not like it was hot and you were sweating today.
Oh
We have our one fan over here, Trey Kennard's brother. We're going to do a Shoey.
Hey, this is the best post-race show ever.
We
right?
actually did just make this. Wait, they drink the entire thing?
Let's go, Weege. He put his money where his mouth is. Hey.
What do they say? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie?
Oi, 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 oi.
There we go.
A Lawrence brother won today, Aussie, and Jason
that's true.
Weigandt just done a shoey. I'm
Wow.
incredibly proud right now.
Man, I don't know if you've had your shots. I could really be regretting this in a few hours. That's awesome. It really is the best post-race show ever.
And that was really nice.
Yeah, you actually did.
Yeah,
You
no.
didn't pour all of it. You
No,
got to
I
try
had
some.
like half of it.
Okay, all right. Because I almost feel like that was a move to not drink it. Now I'm having 1.5.
I'll finish yours if you need that.
Let's talk 250 class. And oh, okay. Putting his money where his mouth is. Look, see, we're done. Haiden Deegan wins again. Like, what more can you say, bro? What more can you say?
I feel like we almost need to say like, oh, this is the new normal.
Yeah.
Are we at
Yeah.
that point?
No, we absolutely are. And I'm going to go back. Hold on a second. I'm going to go back 23 years. Are you ready? So, at the Unadilla National in 2001, Travis Pastrana was dominating.
Yeah.
Pastrana's always drama. He'd have 2 good races, and he'd crash. Then he'd go to X Games.
Then you do a 360.
360, yeah. But at Unadilla, he was just dominating. And I'm like, finally, just string together a year and a half of just crushing everybody on a 125. That's how you do it. And then in the 250s, it'll get tough again. That's like the step you need to take. First is a battle.
Yeah.
Then you just kill everybody for like a year.
Yeah.
We might be getting into that just kill everybody for a year stage.
Oh, I think that's exactly what's happening. Like, and I feel like Haiden.
Thank you.
Brother.
Yep.
I feel like if the chains were off and Haiden had people in his corner that were like really trying to get that from him from day one, like he honestly, I think he could be doing this with a lot of crashes in between.
Yeah.
But I think that you could really see him go out and be that guy from basically day one. But I think they fully had the chains on the kid.
Oh, really?
Oh, massively.
He could have been wilder, faster, or whatever.
I think he could have been
Yes.
this guy
Yeah.
way sooner, but I think they really took the time and they were just fundamentals.
Okay.
So many people say that, I think to like cover the speed and experience gap that
Yeah.
they don't have yet until that they get it. But I
Yes.
think with him, it really was that. Like they really kept the chains on him. And I
Okay.
think now they're just like, all right, man, you've got this. You
Yeah.
know, like go and do your
You
thing.
have all the puzzle pieces, so
Yeah,
now go
yeah,
do what you can do.
yeah. They kept him in such a safe space. And I think too, like, people always want to talk about like money and he had this and he come from that, right? You can't be Haiden Deegan because of money. You can't be Haiden Deegan because of the silver
Nah.
spoon, right?
Yeah.
In terms of speed. But I think what it did do that people don't really talk about, this is the real advantage of having Deegan money, right? You can take that year. You
can be
really
patient.
can
Yes.
take
Yeah.
1 year, 2 years.
Yeah.
The name's going to carry you. You're still going to get a ride. You still got monster money coming. And if it all doesn't work out, you're filthy rich anyway. So that's where the Deegan money, I think, actually comes into play. I think they use the money as smart as humanly possible to keep him grounded, to keep him, maybe not grounded, but to keep him like really chained back in terms of like this speed that we're seeing now. I think this is a new normal.
You know what? You just made me stumble on something, and that's why this is our best post-race show ever. You know who else had kind of a, we're not trying to win everything and show everyone all the time. Believe it or not, that was the Eli Tomac philosophy. Now, I know he won the first pro race he was in, but as an amateur, you always heard that Eli was being held back, don't ride too much,
Yep.
don't get burnt out.
Also kind of rich.
Why did they have to be patient? Because they're like, this isn't our first shot at fame.
Yep.
This isn't the first chance in our family's history to do something.
Yep.
If it takes 3 years, that's fine.
Yep.
We're not so desperate to
You have
achieve something
security.
in life.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and you look at
yeah.
like a Zach Bell, right? Dude, phenomenal. Like he was
Yes.
incredible, amateur talent.
Yeah.
If people knew where they lived and where they came from
Yeah.
and what that first pro contract means, there's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
kids. There's a whole bunch of kids that come from money, and there's a whole bunch of kids that don't come from money.
Yeah.
That's the real advantage of coming from money.
You
is
can be
you've
patient.
got security.
Yeah.
You have job security. Like there's kids that are going to go pro in the next couple of years where they're going to be like helping their parents survive. You know,
I
so
talked
I
to-
think that's like you can't understate how important.
I talked to Carson Wood, who won the Super Mini class here last year and then got on the podium today. His dad said, yes, I have to work on these bikes so much that I had to quit my job, and the only money we have is the money he's making as a Super Mini racer.
Yeah.
Like, we are barely pulling this together. So yeah, you cannot be patient
Yeah.
when that's the situation. So yeah, I think we stumbled on that, and maybe the Tomacs even said a little something, because
Yeah.
they are tight with them.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it's just coming from money and coming from success. You know how to do it. You know there is
Yeah.
a roadmap
There's a
to
roadmap.
being successful
Yeah.
in business,
Yeah.
in any sport. It all translates to a certain degree. You can't buy what Haiden Deegan has inside, but you can buy in time and you can buy patience.
Let's go to the press conference real quick. 250s, Tom Vial and Joe Shimoda also on the podium today. Good battles. Just everyone's behind Deegan right now.
I've really just put an emphasis on trying to learn how to control a race from up front where, I mean, a track like this, if you push the limits, you're going to hit the ground pretty quick. So it's just finding that point where the guy behind you, you don't let it get too close because I know, I mean, obviously when you get close to somebody, it kind of lights the fire up inside you. But that race is a little hard too because you're trying to push harder, but you make no mistake, and Tom was running really good. So I was trying to find that fine line, but I mean, just in general, I was trying to find those, where you can kind of control the race and be smart up front.
Oh no, I never see a track like today. It was really dry. I think I've never ride a track that dry. And first motor was actually a little bit sketchy. Second motor, it was a little bit better, the track, but no, it was like kind of a mix, of course, like it's an SMX track between Supercross and outdoor. I think it was a little bit more outdoor today, but the track was just like super dry and slippery. And normally in outdoor it's a little bit more traction.
Well, probably not. I mean, we have one more race. Am I going to gain so much fitness during 1 week? It doesn't come around that easy. And I think I do have enough fitness for 20 minutes. Just have to find a little more pace. You know, like when Haiden gets 2 stars, I'm like, it's kind of hard for me to, you know, like stick and try to pass because all I'm doing right now is like getting pulled away. So realistically, just overall speed.
Yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. This is, we called it the podcast mashup. Well, we're doing it here. So this is your shooter,
Yeah.
and then he's telling the shooter to, what, Rainsy?
Shoot, Ronan.
Ronan, because no Australians go by their real name.
Roans.
Rones,
Yeah.
Rones, shooting the shoe that was used for the shoeing.
I might frame this shoe. I might never wear this shoe again.
Yeah, just unfortunately maybe to the airport, and then after that, shut it down. You'll be there next week.
Yes, I'll
Maybe
be
we'll
there.
do this again.
Same Friday, 5 p.m.
Yeah, we'll do 5 p.m. Friday for you fans. Come and join us in Vegas, and then hang on the best post show ever.
This
Me
is
and-
a real one. This is a real one, right here, right? Best post show ever.
He's a real Jason. I can verify that. It was the best post show ever. See you in Vegas, everybody. It's winner take all.